Hello and welcome again to part 3 of the X-Files review and retrospective. In part 1 we talked about the videotapes that were available back in the 1990s, the late 1990s. Part 2 we looked at the DVDs, the box sets that you can still get today if you want to own the whole series, and the kind of expanded X-Files universe with Millennium, that TV series. Today we're going to look at a few bits of merchandise, other things that you can get now, or you could get back then anyway, and just have a bit of a, like I say, a retrospective about what there is. I'm going to start with what I've got, basically. A few little things. Unofficial item I picked up, I think this was back, I remember 1996, I went to Meadow Hall, I was 15 at the time, and all these kind of things you could get, like from magazines, you could order them. It was unofficial merchandise, but I thought it's quite funny that I've still got that anyway. I sometimes walk around with it at work on as a joke.
FBI.
There was a CD-ROM that was available, I think it was in 1998. It was just a dossier, basically. Today we have like broadband internet, YouTube, all that kind of thing, but back in the late 90s, you could download videos, but it wasn't very practical. It'd take forever, and you could only like download short clips, really, because it was so slow. This was a CD-ROM, and you'd have access to like loads of video clips.
The X-Files Unrestricted Access. The definitive X-Files interactive resource. Actual case files, dossiers, and evidence. You investigate. You encounter. Know what they know. And more. The X-Files Unrestricted Access for Windows 95 CD-ROM. From Fox Interactive.
I do remember, actually, on this there was an area on this where it advertised this thing called the X-Files game, and I was like, whoa, what's that?
Search for evidence.
I need for you to help me.
Sift through clues.
I'll take a sample to the side crime lab in DC and have it analyzed.
Conduct interviews.
FBI, like to ask you a few questions.
And evade danger as live-action characters anticipate and react to your every move. The X-Files.
I believe it was one of the first games of this type for this kind of platform. It was released on PlayStation 1 as well, which I had. But it was a good game, I liked it. I know it got slated by game critics, but I'm not a game critic. I never really was. I was just an X-Files fan, so for me it was very enjoyable. It had Mulder and Scully in it and a few other characters, but you played a new character, which kind of would have been cool if they'd have introduced him. It was called Agent Wilmore, I think, and like I said, it would have been good if they'd have introduced him into the series, because it would have kind of made it feel more like it was an official part of the series, like it was canon with the rest of the show, but they never did that. There was another game that was released for PlayStation 2, I think in 2004.
Mulder, you can't tell me teenage girls have somehow managed to raise the dead.
Hey, I'm a federal agent and I will fire. What's down there?
Your future, Mulder.
Oh!
This isn't a game. This is a war.
It was a lot more fun and enjoyable. It was like a typical PlayStation 2 game. I don't know if anyone's into games watching this. I would assume so, because we're all geeks that watch the X-Files. So it's called Resist or Serve. Those are the only two games that I'm aware of anyway that came out for this. There's a few other things. I'm not really doing this in any kind of coherent order. I've just kind of piled it all up here. I'm going to go through it. Music from the series, kind of getting a bit desperate now, but there was an album called Songs in the Key of X, which was music. It had, who did it have on it? I can't remember. It had R.E.M. on it, Nick Cave and the Bad Seed, Elvis Costello, Foo Fighters. In fact, the first Foo Fighters song I ever heard was off this album, called Down in the Park. Rob Zombie and Alice Cooper. So it was quite a good album. And the artwork was pretty cool as well. You can kind of make that. That was for the TV series. That was songs from the TV series. There was a score album from the TV series called The Truth and the Light, and it was Mark Snow that did the score. There was the movie Fight the Future, the 1998 movie. That's the score to the film, and there was also the songs from the film, which had Foo Fighters again, and Cardigans, and a few other people. The Cure were on there as well. And then there was the soundtrack to the 2008 film, which has a bit of score and songs on it as well, by Uncle. And there's a song by Exhibit as well. Exhibit was in the actual film as well. It's kind of random. There's also, I got this limited edition Millennium TV series score as well. Can't say I've listened to it a great deal, but it was Mark Snow again who did the score to this, so it was quite good. But I think it's fairly limited, this. Also available, I only have 3 of these, but there were graphic novels that came out. There was The Haunting, Project Aquarius, Firebird. When they started releasing these, they had like a stamp down the side of them, which they kind of gave up on, which is a bit annoying. I was going to say The Truth Is Out There, like an ink stamp type thing, but I don't think they carried that on, so it kind of looks a bit stupid on the shelf. But you can still get them. I believe that they've re-released a lot of the old graphic novels in like a big hardback omnibus recently, as in this year, 2013. Moving on, there are 2 books I seem to remember. These were the first books I ever saw come out of the X-Files. Book of the Unexplained. It's kind of, they go through the episodes, some of the stuff that appears in the episodes, the paranormal stuff, and it covers like the real world, versions that those stories were based on. So quite good. Written by Jane Goldman. That's Jonathan Ross's wife. And there were 2 volumes. One was from series 1. I think volume 2 covered series 2 and 3. But they're very good anyway. I've got an X-Files bookmark in there as well. But loads of random knowledge and trivia and stuff in there. I could show you the contents of all these things, but I'll be here all day. So some free magazines that came just to like promote the film and stuff. Some random covers. SFX magazine. The X-Files map. That's quite interesting. On the map, you get like, it tells you where it was set or whatever. Why you would need to sort of visualise whereabouts in America these episodes were, I don't know. I think it's just another way of kind of bringing out merchandise, because there was a lot of demand back then, a lot of money to be made out of it. But a very random item, kind of goes with the collection, I guess. Movie magazine. There was the actual magazine for the TV series as well, which started. It was done by Manga. These early ones, these were sort of special edition magazines. I think there were like two issues of this. This is volume 2. I've got 2 copies of that. But with them, you got a lot of interviews, plot synopsis, that kind of stuff. That was interesting. I'll just flick past. These are phone cards, BT phone cards back in the day. These just kind of talking about that. There was the actual issues themselves. These were special editions. There were only 2 that I'm aware of that they ever did. But they started, I think, back in, it's September 95. No, it was before that, actually. It was sometime back in 1995 anyway. There were these magazines that you get by Manga, and these were monthly. It started with this first one. It just says Special Collector's Edition. And again, it was done by Manga, and it ran monthly. With each issue, each one had this stamp on that I remember. And it said The Truth Is Out There on it. And there was one of these issues, this was the one that I got. When I got one of the videotapes, it had, instead of The Truth Is Out There stamp, it said free with video, only at WH. So I don't know if this one's worth anything because of that, if it makes it rarer, I don't know, it'd be interesting to know. But yeah, Manga issued all these up to issue 18. And inside, they were fairly standard. It'd have episode synopses, serialise some of the comics and stuff like that, and it's quite good, and a lot of advertisements as well. Manga ran these up to issue 18. From then on, it was issued by Titan. It was very similar layout and everything, and I think that ran up to issue 27. Then after that, the magazine became kind of different. It was still done by Titan from issue 28 onwards, but you can see the layout of it was quite different, but the general content always stayed the same. And these were the Sideshow Toys collectible 12-inch figures that they released around about 2006. No, it might have been earlier than that, actually, maybe 2004 or 5 from memory. But they were very good. There were some others that I don't have. I think there was a Krychek one and also a Skinner one as well. It was quite good. But they were very rare and very expensive, so I don't have them. But the attention to detail on these is very good. Some aren't so good, but with the Robert Patrick one, the likeness is very good. The attention to detail, like I said, the accessories you got with these are quite good. The Agent Scully one wasn't quite so good in my opinion. You got a few extra things with this. With the Agent Scully, you got this like small file folder with like an X-File case folder on there and some evidence, some photo things. I have no idea what that is. Might be some in-joke of the people that designed the toys, but you got like a torch and a mobile phone as well, because the characters are quite well known for using all these things. The Mulder one is probably my least favourite. It doesn't look all that much like him, but it's the accessories you get with this fairly good. You get this like miniature poster that he has in his office. You get this stiletto, which was used to kill like these alien bounty hunters in the series, and you get his phone with it as well. Cigarette smoking man is probably my favourite of this. The likeness is very good. He has a cigarette in his hand and also a packet of Morleys, which was something that the TV series used as a sort of a fictional brand. The last figure that I have was the Frank Black figure. The likeness is quite good on this one, and he has a gun. This was a character that was in the TV series Millennium, which I mentioned in the DVD review, but there was an episode where it crossed over. But those are the only ones that I have of this. Now, back in 1998, there was also a release of figures for the 1998 movie, obviously, Fight the Future, which was made by McFarlane Toys.
I need you on this. One man alone cannot fight the future.
Mulder! There's no time!
This is the complete set, as far as I'm aware. This was everything that they released in this collection. As I say, it was McFarlane Toys, Todd McFarlane's company, that made these. There's various different things that you can get. They're quite well detailed anyway. They have like the FBI badge on each character. I don't know if you can see it close up. They, like I say, you can still get these on eBay fairly cheap, like in brand new in the box. But they are quite nice nevertheless. You got these pods, and inside each one you have like a human being that's been, if you've seen the film, infected with this like alien virus. Same in this one as well. It's the same thing. I think with each figure, it was like you'd get like two things. You'd get like one of the figures and like say an alien. It's a caveman figure as well. This was from the beginning of the film where it's like 35,000 BC. You see a caveman having a fight with one of these aliens. I think this one was fairly rare. Not like really rare, like worth a lot of money, but it's fairly hard to find. I seem to remember it was just a dead body. I think this one was quite rare. This, from what I remember, this is actually hand painted. It's like a containment unit, and inside it's got another one similar to what was in here, another human being that's been infected. And there's a bit more detail on this one. You can see like a little alien gestating inside of him. So I'm not looking too happy anyway. Like I say, the X-Files was a very popular series. There was a lot of merchandise back in the day, so I hope this has been nostalgic for you, and we'll see what the future is, if he'll do any other films. I kind of doubt it, but we'll see. And as far as these reviews go, keep checking back because there are plenty planned for the future. There is probably going to be a Terminator one that I'm going to do, so check back and we will see you for the next review. Thank you very much.
Unmarked helicopters hovering. They said it was a weather balloon. 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 It was a weather balloon.
We're going to run a few tests. This is a simple lie detector. I'll ask you a few yes or no questions, and you just answer truthfully. Do you understand?
Yes.